Hey, Impactors. This is Kiyoshi Tim, and I have a special treat for you today. We are going to do a live video that's going to be our Monday morning Matt chat, and we're going to talk about some back to school tips for parents today. So I have some back to school tips, and if you guys want, this is going to be a few weeks long. So next Monday, I'll do another tip. If you guys want to join us live, you can. If you are watching right now and not live, just make sure you guys hit the like below, okay? Because we always like to see your likes. And we're going to just get started here. Summertime's coming to an end, and this is a really anxious time for your child. They're going to have some symptoms possibly associated with going back to school, which could be like stomach aches or sleeping problems. And, there's also other things they might experience because they're going to be meeting new friends, new teachers. There's a possibility they might be worried about bullying in school. There's pressure to make good grades. There's worries about whether they're going to be popular or unpopular in school. They may be changing schools from one school to another. So there's a lot of things that are happening. And this tip is, you might as a parent ask, how can I cope with these mental and physical stresses my kids are having? So here's our first tip. And it's put your child on a healthy sleep pattern right away. Now, I know some of the parents, I already talked to some of you guys, and you do this early, so you guys are ahead of the game. Some of you guys started 2 weeks before school even started to get them back onto the school time sleep pattern. But, your child needs about 8 to 10 hours of sleep in order to feel refreshed and not groggy and grumpy and those kind of things. Parents, us as adults, we always say 8 hours. Adults actually need less sleep than kids normally do to be fully functioning. So that's something to really keep in mind with your kids, is that they need a little bit more sleep to be fully functioning. And if they get enough sleep, they're going to be more energetic. They're going to be more focused and paying attention to what the teachers are saying. And I always tell the kids when I'm talking about focus in karate class is that if you focus on the teacher, that you're going to learn a lot quicker. You're going to get the material, understand the material better. The homework's going to be easier, and you're going to have to study a lot less to do a lot better on tests just by having focus when you're in school with the teacher. So here are some of the tips that we have to have a kid feel, more or be more ready to go to sleep. The first thing is to set a bedtime and a wake time for weekdays. And this should be a non-negotiable time. So pick a time. So basically, if they need 8 to 10 hours of sleep, you look at when they're going to need to wake up in the morning, you kind of subtract back to the time that they need to go to bed. Set up some rules for 1 hour prior to bedtime. Okay, so there's some things that if your kid gets overstimulated, or they're doing activities that they get too involved in right before bed, it's going to make it very difficult for you to actually get them to go to sleep. So it's very important to set up some ground rules for better sleep. I would say first thing is to cut out, or first one is to make sure that you eat at least 1 hour before they go to bed. And the reason why dinner time should be 1 hour before bedtime is it can cause some sleep problems. Your stomach, once you eat, your stomach starts to digest food, which actually creates a lot of energy in your body, and actually usually would boost your metabolism a little bit, and that's something that you don't want to do right before bed. And so sometimes, a lot of times, eating right before bed is going to hype your kid up, and they're not going to be calmed down to go to bed. So you want to make sure that you try to eat dinner. That's okay to have like maybe a quick snack before bed if they're hungry, a glass of milk or some fruit, just to make sure they're not hungry. But so, hey, Jennifer, I haven't heard from you in a long time. So The second thing is to cut out all physical activities 1 hour prior. So obviously, if your kid's getting all hyped up, running around, they're going to have a lot of trouble getting to sleep. So you want to make sure that you cut down the activity. So, our karate classes are usually early enough that you can do your karate class and then get home and they can kind of calm down before they go into going to sleep. So most activities you want to make sure you get done at least an hour prior. Also, cut out stimulating activities 1 hour prior to bed. So we're talking about the video games. We don't recommend TV, video games, computers. Those kind of things are going to just hype your kid up before they go to bed. And a lot of them are overstimulating, so they're going to be really hard for you to get your kid to stop doing. One trick I used to use with my kids that I thought was really effective is I would use what are called limited options. In other words, when the kids, say you have your kid and he's watching TV, I would make sure that on the time that they have to get ready for bed, I would give them the option, hey, it's almost time for you to go to bed. I said, do you want to finish watching a TV show or would you like to go to bed now? Now, most of the time your kid's going to say, hey, I want to watch the rest of the TV show. But that wasn't the point. The point was that once the TV show is over, you can say to your kid, hey, the TV show is over and it's time to go to bed. And if they do argue, kind of argue with you, said, oh, well, you already agreed. So you're actually making them agree to something beforehand, and then all you're doing is making them stick with their agreement, which is I found really effective with my kids. Now, the last thing is to establish a 20 to 30 minute nightly calm down bedtime routine. That means, taking a shower or bath right before bed is a good thing. Putting on your pajamas, reading. I used to love reading to my kids. So we would make that a nightly habit, read. I would read a little bit. When they got a little older, I'd have them read a little bit. And, that would kind of relax you and get you ready to go to bed. And I would say definitely don't have a TV in the kids' room or TV on right before bed, because there's a few things about having a TV in their room and having watch TV right before bed. First off is if they watch TV right before bed, they're going to get in the habit of having to have the TV on to go to bed. So it's kind of, and also it's stimulating enough that in times it's going to make them want to stay up. So there's kind of like a double-edged sword with that. You don't want to make it so they need the TV to go to sleep, because at the same time, the TV is going to keep them up longer. So that's a good tip for trying to get them to go to sleep. All right, guys. So that was my tips for today. I hope you enjoyed this. Next Monday, we're going to give you part number 2 of our back to school tips for parents. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, make sure you hit the like somewhere. It looks like it's over. Oh, it looks like it's over to the side here. But wherever it is, make sure you hit the like, and we'll see you next week in the live video.